So you said sound
Test,
effects?
test, 1, 2, 1, 2. Through my computer setting.
Where? On sound?
Yeah, sound.
What?
Sound.
What did you choose? Because apparently mine is on
No.
boop.
Hey, everyone. My name is Ellen.
And my name's Alyssa.
The Modern Singer Podcast.
The end. Okay.
Sparkles. Pew, 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 pew.
Pew, 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 pew.
Modern Singer Podcast. Pew, 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 pew.
Hi, Ellen. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Can you hear
Oh,
me?
man. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great.
It's been a week, you know? It's been a journey.
I have been waiting to talk to you because you went on a date last night and I have not heard about the date yet. So
I know.
please divulge.
So it wasn't great. But
Oh, no. I was hoping you were going to say the complete opposite. Oh, no. Okay, why
no.
was it?
So friends, you know, we say don't lie in your resume. Please don't lie in your dating profile. I don't care if you're 5'5". Don't say that you're 5'8". I wore heels and he was my height. And I went, oh boy, okay. So that's how the night started.
No.
And then it just went downhill because I had to go to Jersey for a date.
How far did it take you?
It was a 10-minute Uber, but because of the George W. Bridge and the toll, I spent like $50 on an Uber. Like,
oh no.
So that sucked. He also took me, we spent $25 on both of our dinners. And then I Ubered home because he sucked.
So the total of your first Uber there.
Exactly. And so I got home, I was annoyed. I was 2 glasses of wine in, and my therapist lately has told me that I don't take enough time for myself. So I had bought myself a couple of things to do some self-care. And last night I decided to wax my own legs. 2 glasses of wine in. I actually did a pretty good job. They're still.
Are your legs okay?
Oh no, I'm totally fine. The only thing that happened is I missed the entire back of my leg. Like the whole back of it, I just missed and I had to fix it this morning. But like I didn't burn myself or anything. There's still like little spots of blue wax on my legs.
Which at least it's cold out, you know, pants and
exactly. And
that.
I really hate shaving my legs and I wanted to try it. So I watched like 22 hours of YouTube videos on like how to like filmed by estheticians on like how to use hot wax, which kinds to use, what you need to use with a strip and what can you use without a strip. I really enjoy doing research.
Oh my gosh.
And I just did it. And it's actually not that hard. But last night I didn't have the wax warmer. So instead,
oh no. Oh no.
I wish I had kept it out because I actually like just took my trash out too. I used a metal tin that was the lid to one of my candles and a candle warmer to melt the wax and made a mess.
Hey, you know, you gotta use what you have.
Exactly. You know, improv. We're all here for it. You know, I would give myself like a solid B- on my first like leg wax. Go me.
You know, I can only ask for so much.
But yeah, because one of my problems that my therapist is pointing out to me is I have a problem turning all of my hobbies into jobs. I can't do that with this. The other thing I can't do that with is my worms, which I also have. And if anyone has questions about my worms, DM me because I love them so much. They're such a fun science experiment and also reduce your carbon footprint. Yay.
How are they doing? Are they doing okay?
They're good. They're almost entirely filling up the bin that I have them in right now. Because like
Oh wow.
they've been in this little trash can since August and
Yeah, for a little
January. It's
while.
like mid-January now. And I feed them like every 2 weeks. So, but then my little sister just got worms. She's joined my worm army, and I was so excited.
The worms are spreading. I love that they're
But
thriving. And I love that you're doing this
oh,
in your little New York apartment.
yeah. I mean, my New York apartment is actually like relatively large.
Get it?
But my landlord sucks. But that is neither here nor there.
I mean, if you're
Yeah.
gonna turn around a shitty date, like that's the best way to do it. Wax the front part of your leg through a candle
I did the
warmer,
front
you
and the
know?
sides, thank you.
Just like, a third of them aren't waxed. Oh my gosh,
I
I
did
love
a
that.
really good job for like
I'm
not
proud of
knowing what I was
you.
doing.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so
I'm
proud of
proud
you.
of me. How are
I
you?
I have not been doing enough self-care. I need to incorporate that a little bit more, but I'm sure everyone is sick of hearing it, but we're getting married in February. This
Yee.
probably out. We're probably married by now, but we are being super responsible and recording these ahead of time. I don't know how long that'll last, but it's lasting for now.
Probably not long.
And so we decided to do like 2 out of the 3 weekend events at our house because we love our house. But then we were like, oh crap,
It's
that means we have to
beautiful.
finish. Thank you, but we have to finish all of our half done projects. So we're like, oh crap. So just kind of need even that. But our garage door will be installed on Friday, just a couple of days. So that's really exciting. And we're doing this whole feature wall in our front. It's really hard to explain without showing you a picture, but I'll
Mhm.
take a picture and we can put it on our socials when it's finished. But basically, we
Yeah.
took down some wallpaper and refinished it, and we're gonna paint the wall black, and then we're gonna put these wood slats on it. Our house is extremely mid-mo, so really just leaning into that. So that's almost finished, which I'm really excited about because that's been a work in progress for maybe a half a year. We're
Oh my
really good at
goodness.
starting projects and then leaving them and starting a new one. So
I love that for you though. That's so much fun.
I
I will
know.
say when I was there and it was just like the wallpaper was pulled off, um, I thought that it was like on purpose, like a fun like watercolor texture painting.
No, it's all in the interpretation. It's all in the interpretation.
Exactly.
Right now it's primed. It's pretty white right now, but very close to painting it, and then start nailing those boards on. So yeah,
Yeah, nailing them in there. What?
I'm gonna nail them. I'm gonna liquid nail them, and then I'm gonna nail gun nail them, and they're gonna be real secure.
Oh, that sounds so satisfying. I love nail guns. They're
I know. We
so
just bought a new one
satisfying.
too. Bought a brand new one. So
Yeah.
to break that puppy in. But something more exciting is our voice line.
Yeah, it is. I absolutely love it. I have to wait for my paycheck on Friday and then I'm going to order my dyes in soprano. I'm going to get the ball cap and the crop tee. I'm probably only going to buy one at a time because I live in New York. And it's cold right now and I can't wear either of them anyways. So, whatever. But
I
I'm
love this
super excited.
line. Oh, I love this line. Alyssa designed this beautiful line. It's every voice type, something a little fun and show off your sassiness of your voice type. And there is a ball cap, a baseball cap, a crop tee, and a regular fit T-shirt in each one, and they're embroidered. They're
Oh,
super pretty, super nice.
definitely check it out at our shop. Let's talk about something that makes me
So we're
wildly
actually here to talk about
uncomfortable.
budget today. Oh my gosh, and ever changing too. I mean, it's amazing to have a budget, but it changes quite often, doesn't it?
Yeah, especially if your utilities fluctuate when it's colder or warmer. I know that if you have one of the plug-in window units for an air conditioner in the summer, you're going to skyrocket. But if you pay for your own gas and heat and hot water isn't included in your utility bills, then That's going to be expensive in the winter. As someone who's done it, oh boy.
Yeah. And you know what? If you don't have a muggle job and you live solely off of gigs, sometimes you have a lot of gigs coming in, sometimes not as much. So that income might just fluctuate.
And that can be super hard to plan for, but having a budget, giving yourself those guidelines is so helpful.
And you have to build that framework, that bone structure, and then you can fill in the meat as you go, change that meat each month. But just having that structure there set in place is extremely helpful, and no singer should go without one.
You start talking about meat and the vegetarian in me just checks out.
Body meat, bones and body meat.
Body meat sounds worse.
Fair enough.
Oh,
Fair
no.
enough. What's a better analogy? A structure and the detailed plans on the inside. Well, there are some things that you should consider adding to your budget. Just a couple categories.
Firstly is your income. List out every job, gig, and the total expected pay that you're thinking you're going to be getting for that month.
If it changes month by month, that is totally fine. You just want to make sure that you know how much money is coming in so you can make sure that you have enough to put out.
And that can also go by quarter instead of if you don't plan monthly, if you plan by quarter.
100%. Do whatever works for you. There's no right or wrong way. The second category is savings. This part is huge and again can change month to month, quarter to quarter, year by year. Every single month or every single quarter, whichever you plan by, you want to make sure that you are putting at least a little bit amount away for your savings. That could go to your emergency fund. That could go towards a savings for a car or a new gown, or even just having a backup plan if something doesn't go right, if a gig is canceled. Start with a little bit and keep adding to that when you can. Maybe that's for a new pair of dance shoes or a beautiful Baronmeister.
And we all kind of found out the hard way what the force majeure clause in all of our contracts meant for all of us who had not had an emergency fund, myself included.
Yep. That's why it's so important to have it so that if something like this does happen again, you can, or hopefully not this, but something else happens, you have something
I hope
to fall
nothing
back
else happens
onto.
either.
Oh my gosh, I know, for all. We're not putting that one into the universe.
Yep.
Definitely just want to have something to fall back on.
The next category you should think about putting away for is debt. Paying back your credit card debt or student loans can be super scary, but you should always have a plan to keep them in your monthly budget.
Yeah, and make sure you're looking at the lowest monthly payment that you need to make on that debt, on that credit card, on that student loan. You want to make sure that you're not racking up more debt on top of your debt and that you're paying off the debt in the increments that you're supposed to. The next category is your housing, your utilities, your transportation, those kind of, again, meat and potatoes of your budget. These expenses tend to be about the same every month. That's maybe your cell phone bill, that's your rent or your house payment. Utilities can vary month to month. The way I have my plan set up is I just pay for what I use. So I live in Arizona. The summer months, I pay lots of money, but in these winter months, cheaper. So over the year, it tends to be about the same, but month to month, it is very, very different. There are some plans that you can get on that you pay the same increment each month. And then at the end of the year, you either get money back because you overpaid or have to pay that little bit of amount. So do whatever works best for you. But this is a huge category that you should budget for early on and can account for a lot of your budget.
The next is music. That can be lessons, coachings, auditions. It all racks up. And just make sure that you put a little bit aside each month to go towards them so that you're not paying for all of it at the same time.
And make sure you factor in parking fees and transportation if you have to take the bus, gas. One thing I didn't do when I was making my budget was factor in parking fees. My coach worked at ASU and I paid $6 for parking each time I had a coaching. And at the end of the month, that racked up. So definitely make sure you're thinking of every aspect of music, not just the fee that your coach or that your voice teacher charges.
Exactly.
The next is extremely important and probably my favorite category, which is food. We all need to eat and enjoy the food that we eat, but be realistic when you're thinking about this category. Obviously, your groceries are a huge part of this category. Also, coffee with your coach.
Coffee is the only way that I get through
Real,
anything.
right? And maybe it's coffee that you drink every day. Maybe it's your afternoon coffee as well. So maybe that also includes your coffee with your coach or with a colleague. Definitely factor that in as well as the fun parts of food, going out to dinner with friends, going out to dinner with a potential manager. Definitely want to leave a little bit of room for that fun aspect of eating out in your budget.
The next is shopping and entertainment. Like we said, your budget isn't going to be super harsh so that you can't do anything that you enjoy. Set aside some fun money so that you don't feel stuck. This has been an absolute lifesaver for me because sometimes I'm at the yoga studio and I just really want the new pair of leggings, okay?
You know what? You always have to reward yourself too. We all have to do auditions all the time and deal with rejection and stressful times and
bad
downtime.
dates,
so,
and maybe you just
yes!
wax your legs.
And you need to set some entertainment aside for waxing your legs. You definitely have to reward yourself.
And this can go for getting your nails done too. Like that definitely goes in this category.
Your self-care is so, so important. And sometimes you have to just treat yourself, right?
Exactly.
The last category is just miscellaneous. This is really tailored to you and who you are and what kind of lifestyle you live. Do you have a pet? Do you like to travel, or do you need to travel a lot for your coachings or to see your family? Do you have a gym membership or any other random expenses that don't fall into those categories that we just listed? Make sure you put those here. And also, month by month or quarter by quarter, whatever you track by, this might change as well. This might be a huge expense quarter one, but quarter three, you have nothing for your miscellaneous category. And if that's the case, you can take all of your miscellaneous money at the end of the month or quarter, and you can put it right into your savings. It's nice to have that flexibility.
When it comes to pets, sometimes they can be expensive. I make sure, personally, I have 2 cats. I make sure that I have a little bit going into my savings account every single month because you know what? Those vet appointments in New York City definitely rack up. Or I know that they come home with me for Christmas and that is an expensive plane ticket for them. So just adding those in is definitely something to account for.
Yeah, 100%. And maybe even your personal expense.
I also just want to point out how many times you say, yeah, 100% when we record.
100%? That's my thing.
Yeah,
I
100%.
100%. 100%. It's because I'm trying not to say I'm like so fixated on not saying that it fills with 100%,
Exactly.
Good 100% vibes. Oh my gosh. We need to do like a counter, like a ding, ding.
Oh my gosh.
Every
Oh,
time.
when I was saying exactly so many times in episode 1, we'll just make this your drinking game. How many times can Ellen say, yeah, 100% without Alyssa cutting it out?
Getting everybody wasted one soprano at a time,
Exactly. That's all it takes.
Oh my gosh.
So let's talk about how to keep track of all of this. The first step, write it all down. You might think you're going to remember. It doesn't matter. Find something that works for you. Maybe it's an Excel spreadsheet. Maybe it's a physical tracker. I know I have a little book that my mom sent me that she got off of Amazon, and figure out what works for you. And that might change over time too. But take your income into account and then write down every single purchase you make throughout the month. At the end of the month, add it up, put it in the right categories, and compare and contrast. This is how you change your budget over time. You compare what you planned for and what you actually spent. Make sure that you make the time to sit down with your numbers so that you can plan ahead and you can be ready for it emotionally. I know for me, money is a huge trigger. I talk to my therapist about it almost every week. So
yeah, and for me, I tend to overspend in one category and underspend in others. So each week I write down all the expenses, I look at my bank statements, any receipts that I have, anything at all, put them in the categories and see where I'm at in each category. That not only helps me mentally make a note, ooh, I shouldn't eat out this week, or wow, I that pair of shoes that I bought was over budget and I need to not spend any more money this month in that category. But it also, at the end of the month, allows me to look at those categories and see where I need to edit, see where I need to shift. Every single month, if I'm going over in food and I don't feel like I cannot eat out or not spend that much on groceries, then I need to shift my budget to account for that extra money I'm spending in food and take it from somewhere else. Another huge thing that you should be doing is making a savings goal. You definitely want to put away money, like we said, for that rainy day fund, for that backup money, but also you want to save for something more fun too. Maybe it's a fun girls or guys trip. Maybe it's a new backpack or a new computer or something fun, as well as having that backup. Every little bit counts. And like I said earlier, if you have a little bit extra money at the end of the month, put them into those savings categories. Now we just talked about a bunch of ways to make a budget, but where to start? There are a ton of tools out there. Just go in your apps and do a quick search. There are plenty of options. Just find one that works best for you. There's also Mint, a QuickBooks, if you're feeling fancy and want to dig a little bit deeper into your finances. If that's a little bit overwhelming and a little bit too much, definitely go to our shop and find our budget bundle. Super easy, only 4 pages, easy to print off your computer. It includes a monthly bill checklist so you can keep track of all your bills, how much they are, and if you've paid them. We do have a full expense tracker so you can track which category they go in. We have a savings tracker, which is really fun. Save for your rainy day fund or for a big expense. And we have a tax deductible list that is super helpful when you are doing your taxes. It just puts all of those expenses that you will want to give to TurboTax or to your tax person or whenever you're doing your taxes at the end of the year. So you don't have to go hunt for them. You don't have to go hunt for them
through all of those email receipts. Oh my God, I can't tell you how hard it is. Because I do my own taxes like a crazy person. It sucks.
I had to pay somebody. I pay somebody, and it is the best expense that it's one of the best expenses that I have. It takes a huge pressure off of me. I don't know how to do my taxes.
I use QuickBooks and TurboTax personally. It is definitely super helpful for me personally. It makes a lot of sense, and it goes through an accountant who checks and makes sure that I'm not gonna get arrested later on in my life.
Nice.
I have gotten audited once because they didn't believe that I had 7 jobs. They would be wrong.
You know, they don't know the life of the singer. You know, 7 jobs. That's how many people?
Being a gig worker is don't out me. But, you know, there are other ways to do it too. Some people like going all cash and using a little cash binder with all of the fun little zipper pockets and allocating funds that way so they can physically see how much money they're spending. Me personally, I get very uncomfortable having that much cash around. Find what works for you. For me, it's going to be something different. I like having my printed little booklet that my mom sent me. Some people love using our budget bundle to use and track their expenses that way. But find what works for you. Maybe it's an Excel spreadsheet. It changes person to person, and that's okay.
Yeah, 100%. And if it doesn't work, 100%. Funny, now I'll never not. And if it doesn't work, just reevaluate. After every month or after every quarter, when you're looking at your expenses, see what worked, see what didn't, see what buckets you went over in, see what buckets you have extra spending money, and reallocate. And from month to month and quarter by quarter, you can change the bucket sizes. If you know you're going on a trip in July, make sure that you have a little extra money in that travel fund or in that extra savings fund. If you know that you have 100 weddings to go to, like I do this year in 2022, you're going to have to allocate a little bit of extra spending cash for that. And that's okay. But it's going to come out of eating out. It's going to come out of my shopping budget, places where I can move that money.
And notice your triggers. Are you an impulse buyer like I am? I know I get super stressed out sometimes, and that can tend to rack up on some credit card bills. So start to notice your triggers and find someone to talk about them with. Maybe it's a therapist, maybe it's your mom, maybe it's a friend. but figure out what works for you to help give you some peace of mind when it comes to your money.
Don't forget to take advantage of all the amazing resources that Modern Singer has to offer. Like we mentioned, our budget bundle is super helpful and it is not expensive, and you can print it off from your house or anywhere that you have a printer very easy. Also, we have our freebie vault, chock full of amazing, amazing resources. Check that out in the links below. We do also have a ton of articles on our website that talk about budget. I know we just surfaced here, but definitely check those out. Read them thoroughly, all in the links below.
I think I wrote 3 of them, so it's going to be reiterated a few times. Don't you worry. But thank you so much, everyone, for following us. Make sure that you like, review, and subscribe. It definitely helps out the podcast. You can follow us across social media. Everything is linked below, either on YouTube in the description or after the See More on podcasts. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye. I could also do it on my phone and take myself off the internet and just do the LTE. Do you want to try?
No, because I like this setup and I don't want to have to mess with it. Let's go with it. Okay. And if it sucks, it sucks.
Okay.
Modern Singer. If it sucks, it sucks.
It sucks.
I don't have time.
New logo. Sucks, it sucks. You know, we're modern singers now. We don't have time. We don't have time to dwell.
I'm busy.
Sucks, you know. Okay, I say welcome to the Modern Singer podcast. Okay, correct. I got you. We got this. And take 400. Okay.
I don't know what that was. I was gonna say something. It's gone forever. Okay.
Do you want to talk about it? You should say it. You say that, and I'll say principles.
No, you say it. I don't want to.
Okay. I love you so much. You're like, no, I'm not doing it.
No,
okay,
you do it. Be uncomfortable.
I got it.